that this country Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Sergey, and in this video what we are going to be doing is showing you a video review of the DJI drone. Now before I get into this, I want to welcome you to my channel, and if you enjoyed this channel and you find it helpful, make sure you subscribe to it. There's going to be a link right below to subscribe to it. Also, to support my channel, make sure you go use the link below, which is going to go straight to the Amazon store where you can buy your own DJI drone Spark, because it is an awesome drone. Plus I get a small commission as well. That's how you help me support my channel, and the prices are going to be identical on Amazon also. So with that said, we're going to go into the video review of the drone, how to set it up quick, fast and easy. You don't have to view any other videos, because this is going to cover all the material you need in order to get your drone ready to fly right away. No bullshit in this video. Now let's get started. So here is how you actually turn on the DJI Spark. So over here, press on it once, twice. Now the battery is low, but that's alright, it will still turn on. So we got this on. Next step is to press on this twice right here, and it's gonna turn on as well. So two beeping sounds, both of them are on. Next step for you is to launch the DJI app. So let's go to the toolkit, DJI Go 4. That's the right one you go into. When you go all the way in here, you're gonna go and press on into device, or if you don't have it on, press over here, scan QR code, and you can attempt to scan the code itself, which is going to be under the battery. So you have to actually get the battery out of there to scan the code. Now another thing I want to show you is when you get out of here, if you already have the device selected over there, so here is the different kind of devices right here. You're putting it on the Spark, that's the correct device. Then we are getting out of here, you're gonna go into the settings, and in the settings themselves you're going to be pressing on Wi-Fi, and in Wi-Fi we are waiting until we see where it says Spark OC right here. We press on this once. Now mine connected right away, but if yours didn't connect right away, even if it says no internet connection, it is really still connected, and the password is going to be 1234 1234, writing it twice. Now after you do this, go back, and we're going to go back right to the toolkit itself, DJI Go 4 app, press on it into device, and now if you see images of stuff right now, it means we got in. Next thing is to collaborate it right here, collaborate compass. First thing that we're going to be covering about the DJI Spark is how to go about and put the propeller guards right on them. Now it is very easy to do so, but if you do a few mistakes, you're not going to be able to put them on. So let me show you a few handy tips for it. First off, take a look at this. There is this white little thing right here on the side. Same thing on this one as well, just a little bit white mark on the propellers themselves. So two white marks, one right here, one right there. Those two don't actually have it. And what it means, also take a look at this, there is a white little circle over here on top of this propeller, and this one doesn't have it. So when you're putting just regular propellers back on this, make sure you put them in the right location. And when you put the propeller guards, the one that has the white mark, the small white mark on it, goes where there is a white mark right here as well. So don't try to put it anywhere else, because it's not going to go in and you might actually damage your drone. So that's the easy thing about putting the propellers on it if you have the combo kit for the DJI Spark. Next thing, make sure you remove all the stickers from it as well. So the propeller guards are handy, so if it's gonna accidentally push into you, nothing is gonna happen, but still there is a few spaces where you can still get a little bit injured. So be careful with this drone. It's not really a toy, and if you're using it, you have a kid and somebody like that, or of course an adult who's not really responsible, take care. You don't want them to get hurt. Now, next step for us is to talk about the installation process, which is kind of easy, but if you make smallest mistake, it's not going to work for you as well. So the first thing they want you to do is to scan the code. So the code itself is right here in the top of the box itself. Here is the code, and it also has a password to it as well. Now, this is totally useless, the password. Do not use this password because it's not going to get you anywhere. So the whole point of the password that you have to use in order to log in, you have to take with your smartphone and you have to find a network to log in into. So you go into settings and it should show over there where you have to log in into it. So before we get into the network and everything else, I want to tell you how you launch this whole drone. So what you have to do is to go to your app and download DJI Go, which looks like this. So let me go into it again. DJI Go itself, DJI Go right here 4. That's what we have to look for. And here it is, it's launching up. So with the DJI Go, once you launch up the app itself, what it's asking you to do on the top of the menu right here, right on the top of the menu, you press on it and it's gonna ask for scan QR code right at the top. I don't know if you can actually see this. So when it's asking you to scan the QR code, you gotta go and scan the code, which is right here. Or of course the second location of the code itself is if you remove the battery out of it. There is another code right inside the drone itself as well. Now I have the iPhone 5s and it's refusing to scan the code. Now, do I need to scan the code in order to fly it? No, you don't. Get this straight. You do not need the code to scan whatsoever. You can still fly the drone, not scan any code at all. So to fly the drone, here is the newbie mistake that people are making, and they can't get it to fly. They don't know what to do. They can't connect it. So what you have to do is very, very simple. First off, make sure you charge. You charge the controller, you charge your phone, and you charge the drone battery as well. Then, when you turn on the drone itself, you gotta turn on the remote as well at the same time. By turning on the remote, this is what gonna go and link it, and it's gonna start to link it to your phone with the DJI Go app. Now, after you get the DJI Go app up, next step for you to do is to go and find the drone in the network. So you go into your settings on your phone, and then what you have to do next is to go into the Wi-Fi. So it's going to say Wi-Fi in here in the phone itself. You press on Wi-Fi in the Wi-Fi section, and there's going to be whatever network you're using, plus you have to go and see where it's going to say Spark. You press on Spark, then you put in the password. The password is this. I'm going to tell you right now what is the password. Don't use the password that it says to use here, because you will never log on it. Password is 1 2 3 4, and then 1 2 3 4 again, and you actually write it down 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 twice, and that's it. It lets you right in there. After you go in, it has to update all the software. You can't fly it. So to update all the software, you gotta go back, and you gotta go back to the DJI app, which is the DJI Go app. Okay, so you go back to the DJI Go app. Then once you go in it, you enter the advice, and then it's going to tell you right on the screen that you have to update everything. So what I recommend for you to do is to have a secure network connection. You have enough battery charged and everything else. Turn it on, update everything. You're updating the drone, you're updating, make sure you update your Spark DJI app as well. So the DJI Go app, which is version 4, has to be updated on your phone, on your smartphone as well. So everything is getting updated. This, I mean, the remote, the phone app, and of course, the drone itself. So 3 things are getting updated. It's going to take you about maybe 30 minutes or so to update everything after you charge the batteries. After you're done with this, then just then you can go about and fly the drone. After that, you're ready. So then what you have to do is to go press on this once right here, press on it again. So 2 presses until you hear the sound, and we hear it starting up. Then you hear this sound and it's on. Now you're not done yet, because the next step for you to do is to go about and calibrate the compass. So I turn this on. You gotta turn this on as well. And the last thing I want is for this thing to start flying indoors. You press on this twice, very fast, and it also is on. Make sure your levels are up though. Here is my drone right here. I'm logging into it with my phone. I can enter the device right here, and we want to see if it is entering in, because it will show it on the screen, and it's going to be footage of what the drone itself sees, and it's not showing me anything yet. The reason for that is I didn't log into the network yet. So I go into settings. It should show Spark right here, and let's go into Spark. Right there, Spark. I don't know if you can see it or not. Now I'm typing in the whole password to log and boot in. It says no internet connection in this location, and even if it says that, sometimes it still has internet connection. To make sure if it does or it doesn't have the internet connection, go back, open up the DJI 4 Go app, and take a look at this. It's in. So even though it says no internet connection, it actually did log on it. It remembered my password from last time. It's asking me for calibration when you have to do this only once. Press on calibration once, and it says to calibrate the compass. So when you're doing the calibration of the compass itself, this is very important when you just get the DJI Go app and you just get your drone. So to calibrate it, it's very simple. First off, make sure there's no magnetic interference. So you can't actually do this indoors to calibrate the compass. You gotta go someplace you can actually do this, which is outdoors. Don't stand next to vehicles, don't stand at anything big, metallic, houses, stuff like that. That's not gonna let you calibrate the compass. Go into an open field. First thing is to calibrate it, spin it like this around. Second thing is spin it like this around until of course it's gonna calibrate and lets you in. Another thing it's gonna calibrate and lets you in is to calibrate your phone actually. So you have to spin your phone around a few times as well. So that's gonna be actually the first step, is calibrate the phone, then calibrate the drone, and now of course now you're ready to go and fly. So this really is summing up of all the steps you have to do in order to be able to fly the drone without any interference. You don't have to watch any other video to get it done. Make sure you do every single step I actually told you, and you should be ready to go and fly. So the code scanning, totally not required, total waste of time. Don't do this. There's nothing else you need to know in order to fly this. Now let me give you a small review of the drone itself, why I like it. First of all, the size. It is super compact and small, so you can put this in your backpack. Unlike the Mavic, which is kind of cool actually, the Mavic itself can fold. This is actually smaller than the Mavic because of its size, but it's not foldable, so you can't fold the wings. But if I take the protection off, those propeller guards off of this, it's going to be way small. I like the propeller guards, but if I take them off, it's going to be smaller and more compact. I like it because it is small, lightweight, and of course if this thing drops on somebody, it's not going to hurt them as much as the bigger Mavic as well. Now it is the size of this thing does require the FAA for you to register, so make sure you register it as an FAA aircraft as well if you're in the United States. Now the SD memory card. Now this is a tricky part. I was looking everywhere for it, and it is really hard to find if you don't know what you're looking for. But where it says Spark right here in the front, you go and under it, right under this, put your finger and prop it up, well, just a little bit right here. And here is where the card goes, and actually it goes in upside down. So not the front side of it, which is here, it is the back side, the black side, and it goes into it. Very simple in, and you just push it a little bit in until you hear a small click. Then you go and close this up. And this is it. This is all you need to know in order to fly. So what I like about it, I like the small size. Make sure you're not making the newbie's mistake of obstructing anything here as well, including the stickers that are going to be included with this drone. And there's going to be a sticker right on top of the camera. There's going to be another sticker on top of the top sensor. Now, here is one thing I want you to know when you just find this drone. It does have some protection, so if it actually senses you, it's not going to fly toward you. But here is the thing that you have to understand. This thing is totally blind. It cannot see anything from the back. And that's the dangerous thing about this. So, although it can see you from the front and it's not going to go anymore, if you are accidentally flying it backwards, it's not going to see you, and you can accidentally fly this exactly to you. So make sure you always fly it forward and are careful with it. So this is a great tool. I'm going to be testing it out and trying it out. And of course, be careful with those.